What's up, guys? This is Adam Mcvey, Geared Up Podcast. You all should know me by now. If you don't, I am the one who started Geared Up and the Geared Up Podcast. You can find it on gearedup.com. We're also on iTunes, and we are on the Stitcher app. Welcome to my prep series. I know a lot of people do this. I'm not going to give it some cheesy, journey to the stage or anything like that. But I am going to title it. And I'm going to title it The Little Engine That Could. And there's multiple reasons why I want to name it that. But to start everything off, I started dieting at about 26 weeks out. And I say dieting, but what I mean by that is being more stingent and disciplined with my meals. Not having any wine with dinner on the weekends. I like wine, in case anybody doesn't know. I am a former addict though, so I try to keep that to a minimum. Or not former addict, I guess you're always an addict. But I'm sitting here today talking to you at 12 weeks out from a contest. Now the last, 14 weeks, not all of it was hard dieting. A lot of it was just weeding out the bullshit, getting in a groove, getting consistent, eating the same foods day in and day out. Training my body not to crave junk food. About 2 weeks ago, Matt Porter, my coach, this is the first time, by the way, in my entire life that I've ever given control of an aspect of my life to somebody else. So it's been a huge transition just to take orders. And Matt's been awesome with that, man. He's like, I've broken down a couple times. I really have. Not from the state of, Not like nervous breakdowns or anything like that. More so confidence issues. I wrote an article in the past, and it's on gearedup.com, and I haven't written too much because I think that video and audio are the way to go now. I don't think as many people read anymore, which is a shame because that's good for our brains. But I think that the actual show day, or at least in my experience in the few handful of shows that I've done, is something that I didn't like in the past, and it made me very insecure. I'm a really secure person. I'll talk to anybody. I'll walk into a room and introduce myself to everyone. I'll go up to any girl and introduce myself, whether she smacks me in the face or wants to take me home, doesn't matter. I've always been a very confident guy in that regard. And when it comes to show day, I turn into this insecure mess where I can't sit still. I have massive anxiety. I look at everybody and they all look better than me in my own head. And I'll give you a story. Back in 2013 when I won the Mid-Illinois, I beat myself. Technically, I lost the overall at that show. But I had lost that show before I even stepped on stage. There was 11 guys in my class, and we all weighed in, and we were back there with our clothes off. Man, I'm just looking at everybody, and in my head, they looked so much better than me. And when we went out for comparisons, of course, my number was the first number that got called, so they called me out first. And I was in the middle, and then they moved me to the outside. And I was like, what the fuck? This sucks. I hate this. And of course, all those you're just overcome with all those insecurities. And the whole time leading up to prejudging, I'm going to the bathroom every 10 minutes and looking in the mirror to make sure everything is still there. Afraid that I'm gonna spill over, or that I took too much diuretics and I'm gonna be flat, or whatever the case may be. And you're just constantly checking yourself, and it's a nightmare really when you think about it. So before we even went on stage, when they left me on the outside, even at that point, I got off stage and I was like, fuck this shit. They didn't even put me in the middle, and that whole competitive aspect came out. But really, it was just my insecurity that was making me feel that way. All of my friends at that time were like, dude, it was you and everybody else. They didn't have to leave you in the middle because it was a battle for second. And I'm like, who when do you ever hear that? You know, they left me on the outside because it's just me and everybody else. You never hear that, but that was the case. You know, and that's one of those instances where we let our insecurities take us over. So I gave full control to Matt. I think that I built a pretty good friendship with Matt, and I trust him. I've been in his home before. I've spent a lot of time with he and his wife Rachel, and they're just really good people, and I know that he cares, and I knew that I was going to get that from him, and so he offered to help me, and I asked him to help me, and the rest is history. Now, up until this point, it's been a transition for me. Like I said, I've pretty much done my whole thing my entire life. I partied a lot when I was younger. For those of you who don't know my backstory, you know, I had a long history of drug abuse. I lived in my car for a while, dropped out of high school, I went in the Army. So there's a big checkered past there, and I've always had trust issues when it comes to letting go of control. So here we are at 12 weeks out, 11 weeks out from the first show, which is the East Coast Classic. I'm doing that one more so with David, just as a friend, because this is his last hurrah, and he's not getting on stage anymore after this. But the show that I'm really shooting for is the following weekend. So it's the 1st of July, I believe, or the 2nd, and that is the Chicago Wings of Strength Pro-Am. I have several professional friends that are doing that show, but the coolest thing about it is that it's in my hometown. It'll be in front of my home crowd. All my friends and family can be there. Joe Binley will be there with Sasan Harati, and Joe Binley, the owner and CEO of Project AD, who's been a major sponsor of ours at Geared Up for a long time, is going to be there, and that's really cool. And Joe, don't forget, you said you were going to put me in an ad if I get peeled. So I guess this is episode 1 of our first. I'm going to call this series The Little Engine That Could. And what I mean by that is I'm not that great of a bodybuilder. Scratch that. That's not what I mean. I'm not genetically gifted to add a lot of muscle mass and be very lean. Why am I saying it like that? Well, because in my opinion, trophies don't equal good bodybuilders. We seem to get caught up in this idea that bodybuilding is a real legitimate sport. And the argument could be made both ways, but in my opinion, bodybuilding is a pageant. It's not a sport. I grew up playing sports, and I was a very above average athlete. I was pretty damn good, and I know what it's like to be an athlete. And I don't think bodybuilders are athletes, but there's no other word to explain what we are and what we do. The point is that I have for a long time felt inadequate when it comes to bodybuilding, and because of that, I've never really given 100%. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that are the same as me, and they justify their efforts, or lack thereof, with their genetics. And over the last, I don't know, I guess you could say the year, but especially over these last few months of being in constant contact with Matt, and also building some relationships with some professionals who maybe weren't dealt the best genetic card that they could have gotten when they were born. I've learned that that's totally incorrect. Being a good bodybuilder has nothing to do with your placings. It doesn't have anything to do with getting to the Olympia stage. It doesn't have anything to do with earning an IFBB Pro card. It doesn't have anything to do with how many followers you have on social media. Being a great bodybuilder is building the physique that you want to build and doing everything there within on a day-to-day basis to make that happen. When you wake up in the morning, are you doing your cardio every day? And when you're doing your cardio, are you doing it for the amount of time that you should? And when you're doing it for the amount of time that you should, are you doing it at the intensity that you can be? If I'm doing intervals on the stairs and I can manage a level 15 for 30 seconds, but I'm only doing 13, am I doing everything it takes for me to be the best bodybuilder I can be? No.
Good. Come on. Like a machine. There you go, building pressure, lightweight, all.
Am I training with balls out intensity? For the most part, yeah, I do that. I love the training part, I can do that. But there's a lot of things that go into being a bodybuilder that you don't necessarily get rewarded for. And at the end of the day, when you get up there on stage, it's only some people's opinion about all the work that you've done. Like, you can't take stock into that. Like, everybody, of course we want to win. I'm training to win. I want to be the most peeled guy on stage. But anybody can show up. That no matter how good or how bad I am, somebody can show up and just be better, just because they were born better. That's the reality of this sport that we love. So I built this entire following based on not having good genetics, but trying really hard, right? But I gotta be honest with everybody out there. Up until recently, now that I'm learning what it really means to try really hard, to give it 100%, not 90% or 80%, I can honestly sit here and tell you I've probably given bodybuilding a good 75% of me. I've cut corners when I could, when I was supposed to eat, let's say I'm supposed to eat a cup of rice and I eat a bagel instead. For a lot of people out there, they can get away with that. Can Adam Mcvey get away with that? No, he can't. There's been times when I went 3-4 hours without eating a meal. Can I get away with that? No, but again, some people can. So I've really done some soul searching during this prep, and I've learned that maybe I need to shut up about my genetics. Maybe my genetics are better than what I think they are, but I'm not giving 100%, so how do I even know? I send pictures to Matt Porter and he starts to see stuff. There's other people too, Phil Viz, Andrew Vu, Dusty Henshaw, and other people, Johnston, of course, obviously Johnson and Smith. I send pictures to these guys and they see things that I don't see. We are our own worst enemy when it comes to this. You absolutely need a team behind you and somebody that's going to be honest and not just blow smoke up your ass and tell you that you look good or you look bad or you know what, Adam, you have shitty genetics. I've had people tell me that. Why are you even doing this? You're not meant for this. And then that gets in your head, and of course your brain is always going to take the easy way out of everything. Your thought process is always going to you got to make your brain have work ethic. You have to make your brain work hard. You have to make your brain go beyond failure, because your brain isn't going to do it. This is what's going to do it, in your heart.
Come on, Adam. Yeah. Bring it all down, the weight in the chains, and press up.
I picked up my first Muscle and Fitness when I was 15 years old, and I got my first concrete weight set for Christmas that year. And I remember doing bench presses in the basement, having pictures of Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, Dorian Yates, Paul Dillette, Mike Matarazzo, Troy Zucolato, all these guys, all the Weeder guys from the 90s, up on the walls, and I'm just picturing myself, looking like them. And here I sit at almost 38 years old, and I don't. I've spent my life partying and chasing girls, doing drugs, and I would always fall back on bodybuilding. I thank the heavens or stars or whatever the fuck is up there that I always had bodybuilding to fall back on. Even when I went out and partied, I woke up the next day and I had a protein shake with oatmeal and took my vitamins. I couldn't imagine where I would be if I didn't have bodybuilding. So does the placing at the end of all this matter? At the end of this series, you're going to see me on stage. You're going to see me doing my routine, hopefully getting a trophy. But does that matter to me? Not really. Doesn't at all. I want to see my daughter proud of me. I want her to see what it's like to work hard. Because, you know, she's 8 years old, and the kids these days, and I sound old, but the kids these days in this generation, they want everything handed to them. They don't want to work hard anymore. And she is kind of lazy. She does kind of lay around watching TV. So I want to be a good influence on her. That means more to me than any trophy. And plus, she's not going to care if Daddy won or whatever. As long as I got a trophy, that's all she's going to give a shit about anyway. I want to show my friends in the bodybuilding world that I am who I say I am. I mean, I got to be honest, I feel like a complete phony. I'm not, but in a sense, I don't feel like I am who I say I am. You know, in the off season, I was supposed to be sticking to a diet that I had written out for myself, Operation Heavyweight, which was a failure because I was just really doing whatever I wanted. Yeah, that structure was still there. Yes, I was still getting all my, but one day I'd wake up and I'd be like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking today. I'll go to Panda Express and get chicken and rice there. And I would go get those fatty ass chicken breasts there. I put teriyaki sauce, just not giving 100%. So if I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna do this geared up thing, and we're gonna do everything that we have planned. I gotta walk the walk. Prep for me has been it's been a real gut check. And having the friends that I do, guys like Dusty Hanshaw and Santi and Porter and Johnston, like having those guys in the back of my head while I'm training and while I'm even doing cardio, like it's constantly there. Am I doing the best I can right now? Am I giving everything? Is this all the energy I got? Could I do more? Today I did 15 extra minutes of cardio today. Matt Porter's probably going to be, I don't know if he's going to be pissed or not. But just because I put on Santi's video from Miami and I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch this video. Why am I going to go, I have a treadmill at home that I'm on. Why am I going to go sit on my couch and watch this video on my phone when I could just keep walking? Or keep, going up and down on my interval pattern. So it just made more sense to just keep going and just do more work. I had the energy, why not? I feel great right now. So I just want to start off this video series with telling everybody out there who maybe looks up to me because they think I'm this guy with these bad genetics that tries really hard. And I want you to stop using your genetics as an excuse. I want you to stop even saying that you have bad genetics. And I want you to have some fucking confidence. You never know what's underneath there, man. You don't know where you're gonna be in 5 years. You don't know what drug you're gonna respond to really well. That you have, maybe there's one you haven't taken yet, and you don't know, and then you just don't know. There's so many variables. Maybe your training isn't right. Maybe your diet isn't right. You need to be constantly evaluating these things. This whole last year has been a constant evaluation process for me. I've tried different training routines. I've tried, John Meadows, obviously, that's the mountain dog training is the thing I always fall back on just because of my age and my sports background and the injuries that I have. There's a lot of warming up, there's a lot of feeder sets involved in that, and so on days when I can follow a plan, I try to stick as close to mountain dog principles as possible, and I think even John will tell you that I know his stuff pretty well. But you just got there's something out there for everybody that you can do if you're not happy with where you are, that you can do better. Your placing doesn't matter. That doesn't make you a good bodybuilder. What makes you a good bodybuilder is being a bodybuilder, 100%, and that's it. I have these old books, these old books from the 70s, these old Weider books, and there's guys in there that they won I don't know, the overall in their country or something, ABA, or there's a bunch of guys in there that never even stood on the Olympia stage. But I look at their physiques, I'm like, man, I remember when I was a kid and I wanted to look like those guys. Bodybuilding has gotten so there's so much information out there that everybody has totally forgotten the fun part, and that's the training. And that's the trying new supplements. That's watching your body change from week to week in the mirror, taking pictures, progress pictures, not the ones you show the world. I haven't posted many progress pictures at all. The ones you show your friends, or the ones you keep to evaluate yourself to make sure you're getting better. I remember when we interviewed Frank Zane, he said he used to take pictures of himself 3 times a week or something like that. And that just stuck in my head, like, man, this guy's constantly evaluating his training. What do I need here? Maybe, we all remember in Pumping Iron, Arnold with the crayon, an artist takes the clay and then a bodybuilder takes the crayon, adds a little more deltoids over here. That's what being a good bodybuilder is all about, not the trophy. And with the politics and the money involved and everything else that's involved in this sport, you can't, you want to get a pro card, I understand. Yes, you want to get on the Olympia stage, I understand that. But you can't let that be your only thing. You just can't. Life is all about accomplishment. When you're in the hospital and you're staring up at the fluorescent lights and you're thinking about all the experiences that you had in your life, it'll be really cool to have that, to be standing up there with your hand raised and having that memory. But there's a lot more cool things too. Something like Geared Up Weekend in Connecticut, I'm never gonna forget that. That's gonna be something that I take to the grave that makes me really proud, prouder than any trophy I could have ever won. Like, there's no first place trophy aside from being Mr. Olympia, maybe. That would be pretty cool.
We got Adam Mcvey here after post-workout doing legs in Highland Park,
Soaking wet.
Illinois. Soaking wet. He's quite nervous a little bit because Luciano, what are you going to do to this guy?
We're about to do a cryotherapy.
And what is cryotherapy?
So cryotherapy is basically a 2 to 3 minute long session that we put you in a chamber using liquid nitrogen. We get to temperatures of negative 260 degrees Fahrenheit.
And what does water freeze at?
32.
32. Hey, Adam said he was a little nervous. I was apprehensive the first time he went.
Yeah.
That's like the Terminator, the T-1000, when he freezes liquid
Just because
nitrogen.
I'm all wet.
And what does it do? So cryotherapy.
So basically,
you go
it's
up to
really
what?
good for any type of inflammation in the body. So we're gonna get any type of inflammation lingering in the joints, bring it to the thoracic cavity, get that oxygen reaction in the blood, and as soon as you step out of the machine, your blood vessels dilate even more so than the one before you came in the machine, and you bring that blood to the area and make it recover and heal faster.
Cool. So simulate rejuvenation, post-workout. All right. You ready, Adam?
We just got done with legs and now I'm gonna freeze myself.
All right, so here's our cryotherapy machine. I'll show you the inside of it. So basically, be standing on top of that platform, your head will be outside the machine.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The temperature's going down right now. Sorry, on and not gonna suffocate.
And they
Oh,
died?
because you can't breathe if you go too low?
There's no oxygen. If you don't go low. Yeah. Just no, I remember hearing that. I thought it was. He'll make sure you're out before you die.
I know I'm not gonna die, I'm just...
No.
You're big contest. Don't get your quarters all up now.
Never done anything like this.
Yeah, no, I was nervous my first
No
time.
polar plunges or anything?
Yeah, this is, polar plunge is, what, negative 32 degrees?
Yeah.
This is negative
It's not even freezing water.
negative 260. It's like 3 times over. There, the dinosaurs awake again. You can see it coming out. Hey, remember that time I met you? We had burgers on
it's
Joliet? Wait to get in there. Wait till it starts. That time we had burgers the first time, it was nice knowing you.
I don't know if I want to do this, man. This is cold.
It's just quarter turns to the right, man.
All right, so we're getting going.
Negative 245. It's a good quarter turn. Just slightly turning. Keep turning.
Just turn
Just relax and breathe. It's like, what do you say, Luciano? 3 minutes of discomfort for.
Weeks of
You're gonna like $1 million, man. You're gonna be.
Yep. So it's a 3 minute long session, so I'll keep you updated every minute passes.
I'm getting cold already.
Yeah, buddy. Everybody wants to be a bodybuilder. But everybody knows.
My teeth are chattering
I
already.
told you I was chattering too.
Everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Nobody want to do cryo freeze.
Yeah. It's only negative 250. Yeah, oh, buddy. Good thing you have boxers on, huh? This will give you something to talk about.
I'm getting dizzy.
No, you're right. Just relax and breathe.
Spinning.
You're okay.
You okay so far? Yeah. All right, been in for 1 minute.
That's it?
That's it.
Jesus Christ.
That's it. Come on, you're Adam Mcvey.
Doing great, man.
Now here's the deal. Just think about it. Your core temperature's not even dropping yet. It's just a perception the outside is cold, but it's good for you. It's going to rejuvenate your nervous system. Your vascularity is going to come out. you're gonna heal better, you sleep better. So just think of it as like a set. Imagine you just gotta do one more 360, you know? Oh.
Oh my God.
What do you feel?
Very cold.
Usually your legs feel it more because the connection is down there lower. But you probably, just remember it.
My calves are freezing.
Yeah.
Forearms.
Halfway to 3.
Yeah, halfway. It's just a countdown, like 80 seconds, 79. It's all counting down. You know what I mean? Good.
People pay to do this on purpose.
Yeah, man.
What the hell?
People going every day.
People do this on purpose.
Everyday clients, man.
Good. All right. Good job, Adam.
Everyday clients?
Everyday clients.
Every time. Yeah, they do. Martha, she loves it. She's addicted to little pianist.
she
She's
loves
like
it.
150.
Yeah, she takes like a champ. She does it really easily.
Yeah.
All right, 1 minute to go.
1 minute. So this is the countdown. You'll be glad you did the end. I know it's.
Longest 2 minutes ever.
Yeah, it's cold. I mean, it's just like it's cold and being in freezing water, but it's healthy for you. Good. Increase your quarter turn so you finish facing the
My
camera.
legs feel like they're fucking going frostbite.
Maybe you should have taken a shower. I'm just kidding. No, that's what I was thinking. But you're totally fine. People do it all the time.
Gotta get out, let me know.
Good. How many seconds? You gonna count down?
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. Good. Okay, good job, Adam. Come on. Good. Oh yeah, come on.
My legs feel like that. Every time I move, it feels like they're cracking.
Like
Skin's
the
cracking.
T1000 when he falls apart, it's nitrogen, yeah. But that's pure liquid. This is just a little
All
vapor.
right, 20 seconds.
20 seconds. Here we go. Yeah. Quarter turn to the right. This thing Chuck Sandals guiding you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quarter turn. Front double biceps.
10 seconds, bro.
Good. 10, 9.
I'm actually
8,
kind of used to it now.
yeah.
5.
Or I just don't feel it anymore.
3, 2, 1.
Oh man.
Let's see. So yeah, your legs.
My legs are shaking like crazy.
You feel like cold coming out. Let's see. Let's see. Get a front quads. Let's see. Flex your quads. How you feel? You feel good now once you warm up.
Alright, some things to look forward to. You'll warm up pretty quickly after this. 2 to the lungs, you'll be pretty back to normal.
Oh man.
And then you're boosting metabolism, so expect to get hungry in the next few hours.
Okay.
And then your sleep should also improve.
We can all be great bodybuilders, and if you look around you, if you go to any of these shows, we're a rare breed now, whether we like it or not. You know, we use the tagline "Bodybuilding's Last Stand" on Geared Up, and that's what this is. A lot of things are downsizing. Nobody wants to be big and huge anymore. That just isn't the case. But there's still a small group of us that love bodybuilding. We love it for what it is. We love the classic version or the big, huge, freaky version, the Branch Warrens of the world. You know, that we all need to stick together no matter what the case is. And anybody out there that tells you that that isn't true, those guys are douchebags and they shouldn't be part of any kind of real people, good people circle anyway. I know that I built my social media following in the beginning on being a fucking asshole. And I'm still an asshole. But I am growing up and you guys are kind of being able to watch that firsthand. And hopefully I can alienate all those, you know, people that only like me for my negativity, because I'm pretty fucking happy, man. I don't really have much to complain about anymore. Pretty happy. So this has been episode 1 of The Little Engine That Could. I gotta remember that. The Little Engine That Could. I'm Adam Mcvey, creator of the Geared Up podcast. We'll see you next week for episode 2.